everyone, welcome back to D&D Daily. I'm Dan.
And I'm Daphne. Today, we're talking about travel. Specifically, the hidden gems of the United States that most tourists completely overlook.
That's right. Everyone knows Disney World, Times Square, Yellowstone. Those places are, as the article says, packed to the rafters. It's a great phrase, by the way. It means completely full, like a barn stuffed all the way up to its roof beams.
A colourful expression indeed. In British English, we might simply say jam-packed or heaving with people, but packed to the rafters really does paint a vivid picture. Now, today's article highlights 25 destinations across the US that remain, and I love this word, refreshingly underrated.
Underrated. That's our first vocabulary word. Something underrated doesn't get the attention or credit it deserves. Like, think of a really good movie that nobody watched. That's underrated. These travel spots are like that.
Let's start in the Northeast. The article mentions Pioneer Valley in Massachusetts. That's the middle part of the state, carved by the Connecticut River. Several old mill cities there have, quote, reinvented themselves in modern times. Reinvented means completely changed and made new again.
And here's a fun fact. Springfield, Massachusetts is where basketball was invented in 1891 as a rainy day indoor activity. I'm a huge NBA fan, so this one genuinely caught my eye. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame is right there. Naismith was the guy who invented the sport.
And Springfield is also the birthplace of Dr. Seuss, the beloved children's author. There's even a museum and sculpture garden dedicated to him. Rather charming, really.
Next up, Block Island. Now, this is a small island off the coast of Rhode Island, which the article calls the Ocean State. What makes it special? The Nature Conservancy, that's a major environmental organization, actually named it one of a dozen last great places in the Western Hemisphere. Holy cow, right?
Quite remarkable. About 40% of the island is protected as wildlife refuges and nature areas. The word pristine is used here, meaning clean, pure, completely unspoiled. Residents apparently have fierce opposition to any development that might damage their environment. Fierce opposition means very strong disagreement.
And when you're done hiking 32 miles of trails during the day, there's actually a solid food scene and laid-back bars at night. Laid back, that's a very American expression, meaning relaxed and casual. Daphne, what would you say in British English?
We might say easygoing or simply relaxed. Laid back does work in British English too, but it has a distinctly American flavour. Now, moving westward, Buffalo, New York. This is genuinely interesting from an urban history perspective.
Yeah, Buffalo gets a bad reputation sometimes, but the article says it was once a boom town, a city growing very fast, at the confluence of the Great Lakes and the Erie Canal. Confluence means the place where two bodies of water meet. After that golden era, it kind of went quiet for most of the 20th century.
And here's the silver lining. All that quiet time actually preserved Buffalo's stunning architecture. The article mentions Art Deco, Greek Revival, and Victorian styles. It also highlights Frank Lloyd Wright's Martin House. Wright is arguably America's most celebrated architect.
Plus, the waterfront has had a total renaissance. That's our vocabulary word. Renaissance means a period of new growth and energy after a long, slow period. The Canal Side District, biking trails, a naval museum, and Niagara Falls is just up the road. Not bad for a city people used to overlook.
Then we move to north-central Pennsylvania, what the article calls the Wilds, one of the least populated places east of the Mississippi River. It has ancient forests, mountain streams, national forests, and more than 24 state parks.
There's even a world-class stargazing center at Cherry Springs. Because there's so little light pollution out there, light pollution means the artificial light from cities that blocks your view of the stars, you get an incredible view of the night sky.
There's also the Kinzua Bridge, dubbed, meaning nicknamed, the eighth wonder of the world when it opened in 1882. A rather bold claim, but I suppose Americans do enjoy enthusiasm.
Fair point. Now, let's talk about West Virginia and the Maryland Panhandle. First, Panhandle. That's our vocabulary word. It's a narrow strip of land attached to a larger region, shaped like the handle of a cooking pan. Maryland's Panhandle is a narrow strip between the Potomac River and the Mason-Dixon line.
The Mason-Dixon line is historically significant. It marked the boundary between the northern and southern states before the American Civil War. The region is full of Civil War history. And Antietam National Battlefield is there, and nearby Harper's Ferry in West Virginia witnessed John Brown's famous 1859 raid, a key event that helped ignite the war.
Beyond history, it's a big outdoor recreation area. 3 major trails pass through: the Appalachian Trail, the C&O Canal Towpath, and the Great Allegheny Passage. Plenty of hiking and biking. And there's even Maryland's only ski resort, Wisp Resort, for winter sports enthusiasts. An enthusiast, by the way, is someone really passionate about a particular activity.
West Virginia also has New River Gorge, established in 2020 as the country's newest national park. It's known for whitewater sports, mountain biking, and, rather dramatically, Bridge Day base jumping from what the article describes as a humongous bridge. Humongous simply means extremely large, and it's very informal American slang.
Base jumping, for our listeners, means jumping from a fixed structure, like a bridge, with a parachute. It's extreme, it's wild, and apparently people do it off this massive bridge in West Virginia. I mean, think about it. A national park where you can jump off a bridge. That's pretty remarkable.
Remarkable indeed. Finally, the article highlights Durham, North Carolina, once a tobacco factory town, now described as a science, art, sports, and entertainment hub. The transformation has been dramatic over the past 25 years.
The Durham Bulls play baseball there, the most famous minor league baseball team in the country. They even made a movie about them back in 1988. And there's the Duke Lemur Center, where visitors can actually walk through forest habitats to see some of the rarest mammals on the planet. That's pretty cool.
What strikes me about all these destinations is the common thread. They're all places that were either overlooked or went through a difficult period and came out the other side with something genuinely worth experiencing.
Exactly. And the article frames it well. These aren't second-best options. They're just places that haven't been discovered by the masses yet, which, honestly, might be part of the appeal.
Quite. The absence of crowds is itself a luxury these days. Now, let's quickly review today's key vocabulary. We had underrated, boasts, renaissance, confluence, pristine, derelict, panhandle, enthusiast, reinvented, and humongous.
Try one of those words today. Maybe tell someone about a place you think is underrated. A restaurant, a neighborhood, a whole city. That's great speaking practice.
And if you're planning a trip to the United States, perhaps consider skipping the obvious choices for once. There's a great deal more to discover beyond the well-trodden tourist trails.
Well said. Thanks for listening to D&D Daily, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, more vocabulary, and more friendly disagreements between me and Daphne.
Friendly is perhaps generous, but accurate enough. Take care, everyone, and keep learning.